fine. But if I raise my deductible for $2,500 and I get into an accident, regardless, I'm going to have to pay that. If it's not my fault, I'm going to have to wait to get it back. So in my situation, I don't carry full coverage because I only paid like $4,000 for my car, right? So if I got into an accident and it's my fault, they wouldn't pay to fix my car, but I have enough insurance to cover anything else that happens in the accident. So the way that I look at it is like risk management. Like if anything were to happen to my car and it's my fault, like I'm going to eat that. They're not going to pay for me to fix it, but I drive like a lower caliber and I'm happy doing that. So if you're not driving like a new car and you can afford to drive something cheaper until you have more money to drive something better, you can continue to drive lower quality cars, reliable, but pay less on insurance while you are doing it, and it might be a better way to build wealth for yourself.
Yeah, actually, that's really good advice because I drove like after my Cadillac broke down, I needed something more reliable, but I didn't go crazy, so I just bought a Honda Civic, and my insurance on that car was obviously cheaper. I think that you have to do what you have to do to get forward. The car was new; it would turn on every time. My insurance was less money, and if I had got into an accident with that car, as a matter of fact, my engine like seized. It was like a weird situation, and I ended up being able to afford all that. So, thanks, Gabe. I appreciate that. All right, so long-term disability insurance. Disability insurance replaces lost income due to a short-term or long-term disability. It sucks, but sometimes people get disabled, right? Everyone 18 and older will need a will. I hate to admit it publicly, but I don't have one. I have certain things I want things done that I think, I advised my brother, who should be my insurance agent. He's my everything. If you think about it, I just think that generally speaking, everybody should have a will because you do have belongings. And if I'm in real estate, for instance, and when we go to sell a house of a person who doesn't have a will, it is insanity of what these families go through just to sell the house or just to be able to reach the funds. So you don't want to leave your family with that because if you don't leave a will, guess who's taking care of it? The government. And I know some of you are real big fans of the government, but it's your money and it's your life, and you should probably allocate it and decide how it's going to be allocated, okay? Let me see what else. Budgeting. Here's how you should think about insurance. Here's the reason why Arthur and I didn't have it for a very, very long time. Budgeting. Insurance is not a baby step. So it's not one of the baby steps. It's part of your budget. Okay? So we got quotes. We realized that insurance was going to cost me $700 to $800, right? And what we did was we started making money to be able to afford, as part of our budget, that $700 to $800 basically is what it came out to. So insurance is just a part of your budget. I know it sucks. I know it's really expensive, and it's not like you're spending $800 and you feel like you're getting that money back right away. But I know some friends of mine very close to me who did use their health insurance, and actually after that, the costs of going into the hospital, the savings you get are just insane, as opposed to getting the whole bill on your own. So I think that is beautiful. I think that's a good thing. I still think insurance sucks. That's just my personal opinion. But you need it, and if you need it, and if it helps you live a better life, then you got to budget for it, and you got to, you got to get it, Got to get that insurance. All right, any questions? This one's pretty short, but, gives us a couple minutes to talk if anybody has anything. Let me just go over the 7 baby steps once again, and then I'll open it up for discussion. All right, so 7 baby steps. Save $1,000. Pay off debt. 3 to 6 month fund, right, of emergency. Invest, then college, then pay off the house, and then give, and build wealth and give, basically. Just go have fun. Go out there and have some fun. Let me tell you a little something about term life insurance and just what I think about money making, okay? I'm at the point where I've been able to grow my income. I'm pretty sure if you've taken this class, and I'm pretty sure if you're a human being anywhere on earth, you should be very interested in growing your income and growing your net worth, right? Everybody should be. And I think that when I got the term life insurance, I initially got it for a $250,000 policy, and I wasn't making that much at the time. But I was like, man, and it made me feel in a weird way that if I die right now, I'm worth 250. So I'd keep telling myself I was worth 250, and then all of a sudden I ended up making that, within not a short period of time, but I was on my way because I tricked. It's like playing mind tricks is the moral of the story that I'm trying to translate to you. You have to play mind tricks with yourself, And if you get $1 million policy, you can just walk around saying, I'm a millionaire, and for $120 a month, and who knows, maybe you'll be well on your way. And I just think that just consider tricking your mind. The mind has so many neurons. It's such a beautiful thing that it can be sculpted and molded. And I really believe that it's okay. Play good tricks with your mind that bring you forward faster, because 80% of the battle is between your ears. I really believe that. And that's with everything in life, everything you're doing to grow yourself, you should also increase your chances by convincing your mind and giving it opportunities to think differently. All right? I hope that helps. That's all I got. If anybody has any questions, we can you can just unmute yourself, jump in, and then we'll figure it out. Take a sip of my coffee that I made at home. This would be $4 at Starbucks, right? Probably $4.50. Times that by 4 coffees a day, times that by 6 days a week, times that by 4 weeks in a month, and you got yourself a lot of savings. Wow, look at this guy.
I wasn't unable to unmute myself, but Michelle on the call, Tanaglia, is an insurance specialist, and she knows a ton about insurance. So I wanted to let you guys know that, first of all. And I think the biggest point
hey, this is Jasper.
is that insurance.
This is an insurance agent. Hey, come in here for a second.
Oh, guest speaker.
We live right now?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We have an insurance agent.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to be quick in and out.
Hey,
Let me ask
us,
you a question. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you tell us about why it's important to have insurance and what it does for the individual?
Well, typically we carry insurance on the most valuable things, like your car, your house. So it's tricky, even if you own your car outright and there's no bank involved requiring you to have insurance on your car. Like, David, you own your car outright. Mercedes, 2017, 18 Mercedes.
Yep.
Probably worth 25 grand.
Yes.
No one's telling you have to have insurance. It's just important because if something happens, insurance is for the if. If something happens, he wants to make sure that he's not out his investment.
So
Whether
he's
it's on
protected.
a car, he's protected, yeah. Insurance protects debt, is what it does, or assets. If it's protecting debt, the bank is going to require it. If it's protecting an asset, it's important to have because, in essence, the asset requires it.
So there's health insurance. We talked about car insurance. Can you quickly talk about umbrella insurance? Because it's something that I recently learned about that I'm interested
Sure.
in.
So umbrella insurance is an excess liability insurance policy that hangs over like an umbrella over the liability of your home and your auto. So it's an extra layer of protection before you're on the hook. So if there's a liability claim, whether it's on your auto policy.
Can you scooch this way a little? Oh, yeah, perfect.
Who am I talking to right now?
You're talking to here, and I'm recording it here.
Gotcha.
You're talking to 3 people.
Yeah, you're talking
I
to...
thought I was on
five.
Am I on Facebook Live? Oh,
No, but you're talking to a
okay.
bunch of people.
Got
There's
it.
7.
Talking to
I
all my
lost count.
best friends right now.
I love your best friends, man.
All right, I love them too.
So umbrella insurance is a liability policy, hangs over the auto and the home. So if something happens liability-wise, and you exhaust your limits, either on the home policy or on your auto insurance policy, the umbrella will then kick in.
So you don't actually have to pay those out-of-pocket expenses. The umbrella covers it.
The liability component pays all out-of-pocket expenses, including things like attorney's fees.
Yeah.
So that's why it racks up very quickly, because if somebody sues you, all of a sudden, your attorney that you hire is going to get paid out of the proceeds or out of the limit of your liability.
Yep.
$300-400 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So the debt racks up quickly. Then you have the potential of losing
Yeah.
and having to pay the lawsuit, however much you're being sued for or settle for.
And the umbrella catches that?
If you have $500,000
Yeah.
liability on your home insurance,
And it blew through that.
and you go through that, the umbrella, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 million,
catches that.
comes over that before they could potentially say, okay, Arthur, what else
You're in the hook.
you got for me?
Yep.
Tell me if you agree with this statement. One of my good friends, Dave Ramsey, I was just at his house, was telling me, when you have a net worth of at least $500,000, get an umbrella liability policy. Do you agree or disagree?
I think you should get one when you're worth a little bit less than that, 200-300.
Okay.
Because you could get it for as small as $1 million, right?
Yeah.
You don't have
Alright.
to get a $5 million
No.
umbrella policy.
Nope.
So if your net worth is $200,000 to $300,000 and you're like, hey, I want to be sure you're protected. I guess it matters how much risk are you willing to take and you're comfortable with versus being protected.
Sure.
So if somebody has a much smaller net worth, but they're like, I don't care, I still don't want to risk that much, they may get an umbrella at $250,000.
Minimum would be $1 million.
No, I mean like when their net worth is $250,000.
Oh, $250,000.
They may
Yep,
get
yep,
$1 million
yep.
policy.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause-
just to feel better at night.
If
you're
anybody wants to, we could connect you with this guy to discuss further. He's my good friend. What did you say about insurance in the beginning? Why do people need insurance? Because I like that.
Asset protection or debt protection.
Asset protection or debt protection. You got to protect yourself.
You gotta protect
Basically
your
protect-
asset.
Health insurance, your asset is yourself.
Right.
Auto insurance, the asset is the car and yourself because there's a liability component.
Yep.
Home insurance is all of your belongings, a liability component, and the house itself.
Ah,
What are the types? The umbrella goes
You need
over the
it.
liability.
you need it.
You know,
You need it.
Tom Jones has his chest hair insured.
Wow.
Does he
Tom
really?
Jones.
Really?
Tom Brady his arm, Rihanna her legs.
Yeah, you
All
should
kinds of
insure
things.
yourself. Yeah, I
Assets.
agree. Thank you. Wow, it's so cool that you came in
I
here.
love you guys.
Pop up anytime. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for schooling us on the
Thanks
game.
for schooling us on
All right,
insurance.
and
That
now
couldn't have worked
Michelle-
out any
Now
better.
Michelle, our second insurance bro, will
We have Michelle on our team who knows insurance. Does anybody have any questions? That was pretty cool. That
That's
was
all I have
awesome.
to say.
My brother's out of here. All right, I'll leave it open for another couple minutes and then we can shut it down and end it. But that was pretty cool. So you need insurance for protection, and it makes it. And when you have it, it just makes it much easier on your heart because I promise you, you just feel a little better. No, I guess you feel better knowing that you have protection. That's the difference, right? So just budget for it. Just budget for it. You have to build your life, keep building your life in such a way where you budget for it. And just remember, these baby steps, I personally took this class. I don't care what anybody says. I think it works. And it's not the norm. It's not the way like most people do it, right? But if you can accomplish it to such a level where you have no debt, have all the insurances, have your college fund, have your house outright. If we can get there, what's wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. You know how much fun you're gonna have, like building wealth and giving, and like maybe paying for your nieces and nephews' college funds, and maybe something happens to somebody in your family, you could pay for, if they need surgery, you could pay for that, and maybe you could take your whole family on vacations, and maybe you could go on vacations, but it's not like breaking the bank. I think that's a beautiful life. Maybe you could take like 6 months off from work and not care because you're so secure, right? That you can do this, right? That's what I'm aspiring to. And I suggest that, like, that's the mental shift you got to make with yourself. You got to start believing that you can accomplish these things, and with the right planning. It took me, like, I would say 15 years to change everything about my life, but every 5 years a significant amount changes if you do the right things. So just remember that. Alright, cool. That is all I got. I think for some reason my brother said he couldn't unmute himself, so I'm assuming maybe a lot of people couldn't unmute themselves. And let me see if I can. I think I just asked everybody to unmute, so if somebody wants to unmute, you may be able to. If not, put it in the chat box.
We are unmuted.
Oh, okay. It's not letting me. Oh, never mind. My brother was just being silly. He could unmute himself. He just said he couldn't. All right, cool. So that's it. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time and investing in yourself. I think it's awesome. You see the dog on Gabe's lap? That's my boy, Charlie. And I hope everybody has an amazing day. And go out there, figure out what baby steps you're on, keep tracking your things, and I'll see you all soon. Have a good week. Bye.